Hi everyone and welcome to this video for Newton's Nook Designs. Today I will be making a card using the sweetheart tails. I will be using the little fox because I'm totally in for foxes at the moment and you can find them anywhere on the web. And I love this little fox by Newton's Nook Designs. So I'm stamping him with black memento ink on white cardstock because I will be using my Copics to color him in. And I'm using the YR4, YR7, YR9 and also the E09. And the E09 is kind of a reddish brown, so this is the color that I use to add some shadows. And then I just go in with the different oranges and fill in all the space. It depends on the size of the image and also on the areas that I want to cover if I start with the lighter or the darker color first. And in this case I thought it would be the easiest way to start with the shadows and then work my way through the different shades to blend anything together and to add some highlights with the YR04, which is a yellowish kind of orange, whilst the others are more like a reddish orange. So I'm doing the same with his head. I'm starting with the darkest color and then working my way through the different shades of orange to the highlights. And after I finished the orange parts of this little foxy, I decided to also have some grey color to add some shadows to the white areas to have some more depth on this image and also make him feel a little more alive. I always say him, I don't know, maybe if it's a girl, so I don't know. And I'm using the R02 for his nose and also for his ears. Then I'm going in with my colorless blender to blend the grey a bit, and then I cut the image out with my scissors. I went around with a brush tip marker to pretend my cutting was perfect. Of course it wasn't, but this works really fine to have a nice defined black edge on the image. I use a Pit Artist pen from Faber-Castell and it works fine for me. So we finished the fox and now we're going to work on the background. I close my card with a little bit of adhesive to make sure no color is going inside the card because we will be using Distress Stain. And I'm just dabbing those daubers onto my card front. I use the dried marigold and also the barn door, and you can see in some points the colors start to blend and I think this looks just gorgeous. I used my heat gun to speed up the process of drying. And I also wiped away all the excess color to make sure no color will smear under my card. Then I used my one of the stencils that I created with my silhouette. You can use nearly any background with the silhouette to create a nice stencil, just cut it out from thin acetate. And then I shoot that as straight as possible to a piece of white cardstock. I want to put it on very straight because that makes it easier to cut it into strips later. Because I will just be using, I think, a strip of 3 of those rows of chevrons. So I just put that on very straight, and I have this spray, the spray box, and I just sprayed some Mr. Huey's in Orchard onto that piece of cardstock, and then I used some tissue paper to take off the excess that is sitting on the stencil because this is color that could smear around while peeling that off. You can see there are some spots where the color went under my stencil, but this is no problem because I will cut this out anyway. You want to make sure this is really dry. I can tell you because I did the cards 2 times. This is the second time, of course, because the first time everything was smeared with this Mr. Huey stuff. The colors are very intense and they are very bright. I love them a lot, but they take a lot of time to dry and they are easy to smear around. So stupid. So I did all of this 2 times, the fox being colored and cut out, so you don't want to do this a few times. Be careful. Then I decided to have some hearts for the little fox. I took the 3 hearts that go with the fox in the set and I stamped them onto that panel, onto that sprayed panel, and used some markers. These are no Copics, but some touch twin markers to color those hearts in. They are just like the Copics, nearly the same but a little cheaper, and I have loads of them, so I used them for the hearts. And then I tried to place the Foxy into a place where there are some splotches to cover those. You can see I will put it straight onto the card with all the little splatters from the Distress stain. But first of all, I wanted to see where the sentiment is gonna go. I found a nice place for the sentiment, and I stamped that with black Simon Says stamp ink because I think this gives a nice crisp image. And you can see the background with the sentiment also looks great. You could put the fox just onto that splotched, I don't know, onto that splattered, yes, that was the word, onto that splattered background, and that would look awesome. See, just like that, would look great, but I decided to have this sprayed panel on that card, and I like how this turned out. I used some dimensional adhesive to add the fox to the panel, and you just saw I also used some dimensional adhesive to put the panel with the spray and the mist onto my card front. So I have lots of dimension on this card, and that finished the card for today. I hope you got inspired, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye, and thanks for watching.